Now then, as many of you know, Edison Uno had an older sister named Amy Uno Ishii, who in the 1970s was integrally involved with the Manzanar Committee and the Manzanar Pilgrimage, both of which were heartily embraced by Edison Uno as being of fundamental importance to the success of the Japanese-American redress movement, but whose role has been downplayed during this current 20th anniversary year of redress. This neglect has been anything but benign, and in fact constitutes what amounts to a serious mistake. Indeed, I would argue that had it not been for the Manzanar Committee, the Manzanar Pilgrimage, and their moving spirit, Sukunatomi Embry, the redress movement, while it no doubt would have eventually materialized, it almost certainly would have been substantially delayed and assumed a quite different coloration and character. Let me explain. When the first Manzanar Pilgrimage was held in 1969, it was a very loosely organized event that involved some 150 to 250 pilgrims. Aside from setting a precedent for future pilgrimages to Manzanar and to many other sites connected with the World War II Japanese-American catastrophe, it accomplished two related objectives. It forced those involved in the actual pilgrimage, and we've heard this today from speaker after speaker, it forced those people involved to remember their personal and community past, to remember, and then to confront with this memory the painful discrimination and the incarceration which amounted really to taking one giant step towards seeking justice. And that's what redress is, to seek justice. Also, because that first pilgrimage was an event like this one that was covered by the major television networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, the remembering done by the pilgrims was reverberated so as to take in thousands of other Japanese Americans and non-Japanese Americans, and also put them, however hesitatingly, these other Japanese Americans on the road to seeking redress and reparations. Certainly, many of the Nisei who viewed the NBC segment took notice of what one former internee, Jim Matsuoka, who spent 3 years of his boyhood here at Manzanar, had to say to a reporter's innocent or naive question, how many people are buried here in the cemetery at Manzanar? For this was Matsuoka's answer. A whole generation of Japanese Americans who are now so damn frightened that they'll not talk. They're quiet Americans. They're all buried here. While many Nisei recoiled in anger and denial at Matsuoka's accusation, it prompted many others of this generation to remember and to become predisposed to put their memories of the past to work on behalf of righting the wrongs symbolized by Manzanar and the other camps. By the time of the 1972 pilgrimage, the Manzanar Committee had been formed, and it added a sharper focus to the pilgrimage while broadening its concern from the process of personal and community therapy through memory to that of linking up the events associated with the Japanese Americans' harsh experience during World War II with what was currently going on in American society and elsewhere in the world. Consider these words of Sue Embry at that 1972 Manzanar Pilgrim. This is what she said. Manzanar is a symbol. It symbolizes the ultimate negation of American democracy, and that is the racism that's been in the United States. Even today, while we are at the pilgrimage, she said, it's going on in Vietnam with the strategic hamlets and the Asians killing Asians because there are Asian Americans being drafted to fight in Vietnam. You people who are spending the day here at Manzanar for this pilgrimage should keep it in your minds that it could happen to someone else. And I hope that you will be in the very forefront of defending people so that it doesn't happen to them. These two roles of the Manzanar Pilgrimage, as galvanized by the Manzanar Committee, remembering the harsh past of the Japanese American community, and drawing upon this memory to confront present injustices to secure a safer and saner future. These have continued right up through all of the pilgrimages to this present 39th one. This is the legacy of the pilgrimage and the committee that, in the words of this year's pilgrimage theme, needs to be continued. We need to, too, keep in mind what a pilgrimage is. It's a ritual journey with a hallowed purpose. Every step along the way has meaning. A pilgrimage is not a vacation. It's a transformational journey during which significant changes take place. New insights are given, deeper understanding is attained. New and old places in the heart are visited, blessings are received, and healing takes place. On return from the pilgrimage, life is seen with different eyes. Nothing will ever quite be the same again. This was the great gift of the Manzanar pilgrimage to the redress movement. It forced Japanese Americans to view their lives, past, present, and future, with different eyes, and it gave them the desire and the strength to move mountains. The Manzanar pilgrimage endowed the Japanese American community with a will towards righteousness and pointed it in the directions of ways to achieve it. Thank you very much.
Dr. Art Hansen, thank you, Doc.